I was very curious about Snoopy the Musical. This sounded really fascinating. This is the 1988 TV special that's actually based on the stage musical. And I haven't actually Googled this, so I don't know if it exists online, but if there's a recording of that online, I'd love to see it. If anybody has ever seen it on stage, please let me know what it's like, because I can't visualize it, and I'm really keen. So actually, I think I'm going to see if I can try and find a version of it online, if there was maybe a streaming or a broadcast of it. It had a 2003 West End revival, which I don't remember, but I was only 11 at the time. Very, very curious, but certainly the TV special, which is the main focus here, is pretty good. But there is one thing that I hated, absolutely hated, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But what we have is a series of short stories, each with a main musical number, and the songs are great, some better than others, and pretty much all of the main characters are featured. So I thought what I'd do is, I don't want to give away too much, because I do thoroughly recommend it, but I'll just maybe mention my favourite songs and any moments that I found to be particularly good, and then I'll mention the thing that I absolutely detested about this. But it starts off with one that I actually thought was really lovely, and it's "Don't be anything less than everything you can be," which has the message that the song suggests. And it's Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty and Linus and I think another one, and they're singing this really brilliant song, and it's really enjoyable and a really strong start to it. Then we have a couple of others, and then we have one about Edgar Allan Poe, which takes place in the classroom, and it's a song about education, and obviously Edgar Allan Poe. It's beautifully animated. The whole thing is wonderfully animated. It's gorgeous. But that one in particular really stood out to me. I Know Now is a song about what you would do. Well, it's a song about what they know, but also it raises the question of, would you go back and live your whole life knowing what you know now? Which is a question, a very popular question, and I think most of us would say yes. But at the same time, it would be a very different experience. And the other one that I want to mention is Poor Sweet Baby, which is sung primarily about Peppermint Patty, when Charlie Brown reveals what kind of woman he'd want to marry. And it's good fun, it's brilliant, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Peppermint Patty is fantastic. The voice acting across the board is great, the vocal performances are brilliant. However, I absolutely hate that Snoopy has a voice. Now, I want to say he's voiced by Bill Melendez. Nothing against the voice acting. The voice acting, vocal performance is very, very good. But Snoopy having a voice does not work for me. It's jarring, it's peculiar. He's a much better character when he is silent. Now, one might say, but Amy, it's Snoopy the musical, so Snoopy has to sing. Well, not necessarily, because the rest of it works, and Snoopy is in a lot of those stories as a silent character. He only really has a voice when it's his musical numbers. But we could have had other musical numbers where, as long as he's in the picture, it counts. Now, maybe I'd feel differently on stage, with it on stage. I mean, I'm assuming... Hang on, I'm going to have to Google this. Okay, I've Googled it, and from what I can tell, they are just people dressed up in Charlie Brown-esque costumes. Snoopy is, from the picture I'm looking at, a guy in a white suit with a bow tie. Honestly, in my mind, they were wearing full-blown, like, costumes with the big heads and stuff. This is probably much more practical. So yeah, maybe on the stage version with a person playing Snoopy, certainly not the animated character, it probably wouldn't be as jarring, it wouldn't be as bad. So maybe that's why they decided to give him a voice for this, so that he could keep the same songs in. But honestly, I don't like it. I do not like Snoopy having a voice in this. Definitely might be different on stage, but because it's the same animated character, it's just peculiar. But that aside, Snoopy the Musical is an absolute delight. Great mix of fun little self-contained narratives, wonderful songs, very well animated. Other than Snoopy, and I will stress again, it's not the voice acting, it's just the fact that Snoopy is usually a silent character. It threw me off and I didn't like it. But the rest of it, really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's directed by Sam Jaimes. Definitely worth watching if you're a Charlie Brown or Peanuts fan.